This is Vet Tales, the story of the sailing veterinary clinic. Last episode, we crossed the Gulf of California from San Carlos to Mulegé. This episode, we head further south and do some unexpected veterinary work on the way. We had a great morning sail and an evening motor across the Gulf of California to arrive in Playa Santispac near the town of Mulegé. We are currently journeying south to get to La Paz, where we'll be getting our rig redone. So that's kind of our big priority. Currently anchored in Santispac, which is an anchorage near Mulegé. As you can probably hear, it's very windy. We were going to anchor a little further out in the bay, but since these winds were predicted, we decided to come in and be a bit more protected. It's gusting at like up to 20 knots today. So yeah, that's why we're anchored in here. It's a really pretty spot though, and yeah, very well protected, so that's good. Tomorrow we're going to head off and start heading further south. We're trying to get to La Paz as quickly as we can, while also avoiding high wind days, because we're about to get our rigging redone. We're kind of babying the rig right now because, you know, the closer it gets to replacing, in some ways the more I worry our current rig is going to have more issues. But like right now we've got like a crack up in the top of the furler, for example, in the kind of the plastic drum, and the bearings are really bad on the furler. We also have that one cracked stay on the port side of the boat, and so probably it's fine, but we have had the furler get stuck before, and obviously the higher the winds, the harder it is to manage problems when they go wrong. So we've opted to just kind of like on these 20 knot days, sure, sailboats go out in 20 knots, but we've opted to kind of go out on days where gusts are kind of 15 or below. We're looking at more like 8 to 10 knots steady, rather than kind of that 10 to 15 steady with 20 plus knot gusts. So that's the plan for right now. But yeah, tomorrow is a calmer day, so hoping we can use that to get a pretty good chunk of the way towards La Paz, and then each time there's a drop in the wind, we'll be just doing more and more. But there are a lot of northerly blows right now, so it's kind of like move, hunker down for a few days, move, hunker down for a few days, and just keep repeating. Because we are basically just trying to get to La Paz as quickly as possible, we're also not doing any major veterinary projects underway. Obviously, if we come across any animals that need our help, we'll of course help them, but we don't have any planned. We do plan to do a project when we get to La Paz though, and Dr. Jenny's also at the moment doing projects in Puerto Madero. She has ongoing projects. She's doing both spay and neuter and vaccination campaigns this month. So we're still definitely getting animal work done. Whew, that was a big gust. Just us personally, we're just moving this boat. We have been providing funding to Dr. Jenny since we departed Puerto Madero in 2022 to continue the work we started there after a 3-year refit in the area. It's a small town very close to the border of Mexico and Guatemala. It has an overpopulation of both street and owned animals, which has led to a high incidence of diseases such as parvovirus, distemper, and mange. By supporting Dr. Jenny to provide low-cost spay and neuter events, as well as free vaccinations and parasite control campaigns, we're slowly but surely improving the health of the pets and the community here. It is 4 a.m. We just got our tea and coffee going, and we're going to turn the engine on and get ready to lift anchor. This is meant to be the windiest part of the day, and the wind is not coming from the direction it was meant to. We were meant to be getting a little bit of a northerly that was dying down today. So we were predicted to have like 10 to 15 knots from behind us, and we're actually getting more like 4 knots from the west right now. So we'll see if it changes, but there's potential if it doesn't, since this is when it was meant to be windier and it's just meant to get calmer and calmer. It might not be much of a sailing day. And as you can see, motoring's like, it's fine, but like we've just got this little bit of swell from the side. It's really not much, but it's enough to, you know, have the boat kind of doing this the whole time, which isn't the most pleasant. So we're considering going a shorter distance today if we have to motor the whole time, and then seeing if we can then like sail again another day. So we'll see. We'll be playing it by ear. Because the other thing is, we kind of estimated our fuel usage based on a little bit more sailing than we've been able, than it looks like we might be able to do based on the current wind predictions. Which again, in which case maybe we'll want to stop for some fuel. As you can probably hear, making the shaft shorter did not help the singing. And at this angle with this waves at 2400 RPM, which is basically cruising speed for us. We can go a little higher, but we are doing 6 knots as is. She's singing as we go over waves. It's very joyous and a lovely noise.
It's about 11 o'clock and we finally have gotten some wind. Not as much as we were hoping to get when we were looking at the wind and stuff yesterday. We were hoping we'd be able to sail pretty much most of the day, but earlier in the morning, no wind. About 40 minutes ago, it finally picked up to like about 6 to 8 knots. And so now we've got the head sail out and we're getting around 4 knots pretty consistently. Maybe we'll be able to do this for another couple of hours, hopefully, and we'll just kind of see where we get to.
So we don't have an anemometer on board, anemometer, anyway, whatever those wind instruments are called. We've got the little handheld one, and we do have a little like wind vane at the back, but it only moves when the wind's relatively strong, and it also can just be tricky to always like try to look behind you at it. So I'm gonna replace our little strings on the stays and basically put one on each side, and it can just help you tell the wind direction. If the string's not moving, you can't sail. If the string's moving, you might be able to.
High tech.
Very. That means we know the direction. Look, might be happening already. Sorry. I think the wind switched. Alright, what's it doing? Did you want to get a little footy?
Yeah, on this side.
Yeah, that's not as good, but... anchored up in San Juanico. It's a cool anchorage. We're really well protected. So that's like the north, predominant wind direction. Swell wraps around a little bit here, but then this completely blocks it. So it's very calm. We're excited to maybe do a little bit of exploring. Looks like there might be a few hikes. Could be nice. And it's a new spot for us. We've never been here before, so it's kind of exciting to be in a different anchorage, because a lot of the anchorages we visit in the Sea of Cortez we've been to a few times, and this is a new one. So yeah, it's a very popular one with cruisers. Got to psych myself up for our shower. We don't have hot water on board. Anyway, it's not freezing cold right in this exact moment, but it's been cold all day in the wind, and the water I think is going to be really cold, but we got to do it. You have to edit out me like not jumping. Oh. It's cold.
Colder than Santispac?
It might be a little bit, eh? But our tank water feels warmer, so that's nice. We went into shore to explore a bit and quickly found the cruiser shrine in the bay. It had all kinds of messages, artwork, and boat paraphernalia. While on shore, we also came across a really cool camper setup, and the owners had actually been waiting for the road to open for days to take their dog to the vet after one of her lumps had split open and bled profusely all through the van. They got very lucky that the sailing vet was in this very remote campground. A benign little blood-filled tumour, and then a hemangiosarcoma is the same thing, but the bad guy, basically. It looks more like a skin tag to me than anything else, but the only way to know for sure is you cut them off and you send them away and you find out what they are, kind of thing. But ultimately, if it is getting, Thankfully for now, the lump has stopped bleeding and looks okay, but they do plan to get it removed and tested when they get back to their vet.
There he goes.
Thank you for watching. Next episode, we continue our journey south towards La Paz. Our replacement rig and all of our animal projects are fully funded by all of our supporters, so thanks to all of you. You can help us by sharing this video, giving it a like or subscribing, or become a patron for extras like live updates. Until next time, stay chuffed, everybody.